Says we're live.
Okay. I don't see it yet, but I believe it.
Let's see.
It just hasn't popped up yet.
Okay.
Can you guys see us yet? Say hi if you could see us. Oh, we are.
Oh, perfect. I can't
But
even
it's
see it
not,
on mine.
I don't see it on shared screen like on the split screen.
Oh, let's see. How do I do that?
I can see it looks split screen to me, but it's going back and forth to us.
I wonder how I could do that.
You go to the top of the speaker view.
Mm-hmm.
To the right.
Mm-hmm.
You can change it. I don't know. You know, there's a delay, so I'm like, it's a little behind on Facebook. But let us know. You think we're split screen now?
Yes, I see us split. Yeah, so hopefully
you see a split
we are.
Screen on Facebook. Okay, perfect. All right. Hi, everybody. Good afternoon. Is it morning still?
Morning. Oh, it is yes, morning. It's morning where we're at. Mm-hmm.
It feels afternoon because I've been up early. I worked out and then I went to Target and I'm getting ready for a client meeting, and then doing this with you today. Yes. Good morning. Good morning, Miriam.
Good morning. Thank you for joining me. I'm doing well. I actually woke up early this morning. I have a lot of different ideas going on, and when I do that, I can't even sleep. I go to sleep late and I wake up super energized.
Well, that's why I know you're going to be, and you are actually, I don't want to say going to be, but you are one of my most successful clients and hardworking clients because you do the work and you are obsessed with it.
Yes, I am.
And the pattern is when you're obsessed with what you do because you love it, you just work harder and you keep doing it, you can't sleep. And that's freedom.
Exactly.
That's freedom to me. When you can just do what you love. I mean, and you know, you have an exit plan, right? Soon of being able to work for yourself 100%. But I think that you're on your way, and within no time you're going to be able to do that because you are obsessed with figuring out the right way. But you have to do it with trial and error, right? Trial and error. You have to try things that don't work, scrap it up, push it to the side, and then keep it going and refine and regroup and get back on the horse. But today we're here to talk about your story.
Yes.
Right.
And let me share something about that, what you were just saying, which I get super excited when I talk, not only about my coaching, but my real estate. Mm-hmm. I do more now in my day than I ever done. Like I literally work on my 2 businesses. I go to work. I have a full-time job. I take care of my children and then I exercise. Like all of that can fit into one day. It's so crazy how it works. But because I'm so passionate about it all, I just make it happen.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, you do what you got to do to make it happen. Right. And I mean, some people ask me that all the time, Chandra, how do you do everything that you do? I said, I don't even feel like I'm working a lot. It's fun to me when you're doing what you love. So it doesn't feel like work at all. So I totally get that.
Yes. But thank you for joining me. Yes.
Of course. So we're here to talk about your story, right? And you know, not just to just share it, right? It's more to tell why, how your story has to do with what you're doing now. Exactly. Right? Because when you work with me, and this is for everybody, when you work with me, I really try to bring that out of you because your story and your life experiences are the things that really are going to help other people. Mm-hmm. Right? Whether it's in your profession, your personal life, you kind of combine those things and figure out what's that thing you do really well and how can your story and the things that you've gone through develop and help somebody else, you know, and you could show them how you got to this point because you overcame so many obstacles to get to this point, right? Like in your life that made you who Miriam is today. There's a reason why you're obsessed with your business and wanting to work for yourself and wanting to help other women with their mindset and go through the challenges in life and understand that there is another side on that, you know, on the rainbow where things can go right and things are good and you can feel positive and you can follow your dreams and go after your goals. So tell me like the the beginning of kind of when you started to realize that you had to change, or your life needed to change in order for you to get the things that you wanted to do in life? What was that point?
Yes. So I think overall, that's what I want to teach women. Like you said, once we're there with the mindset, we're able to come to you and you help us with all these ideas. But it takes a while to get there, at least for me. And that's what I want to teach women. How do you overcome these obstacles and how do you view them as opportunities? So for me, actually, I was born in Mexico and my mother left me there when I was a child to come to the United States. So I remember a lot of the times feeling alone and just like very sad. And I didn't know my mother. I lived there for my aunts and uncles and cousins. And when they brought me to the United States with the coyote, because I was born in Mexico, I wasn't legal. I remember a man holding me in his arms, and I was, again, alone and not knowing what was happening. So there's been kind of a pattern since my childhood that I've been alone and just not knowing. So I had so many insecurities. When I came to the United States, my dad was extremely violent. So I started reacting to it. I've been a part of the juvenile justice system. I was sent to a boarding school, was involved in a toxic relationship with a very violent man, became a struggling mother. And I'm just making it a little bit shorter because I want to tell you how I get to the point where I came to you when I was ready.
Yeah.
One day I got home and my house was destroyed. Like my furniture was ripped apart. My door was broken into pieces. And I remember walking in, like I had called the cops before coming in the house. And I'm like, someone broke in my house. And the officer said, you should really go inside the house. We left you a note on the table. We left you a paper on the table. I was like, how can the cops tell me that? I work for the courts. Why aren't they coming to help me? Like someone broke into my house.
Right.
So when I walked in, like there was glass on the floor, my home was destroyed. Well, come to find out, my ex partner was involved in selling drugs, and he was storing them in my house. So the drug enforcement raided my house. I remember like falling to my knees and just like sobbing. And what I do remember that I looked up and I saw my son watching me. Being a mother, as you know, like that really just broke it down for me. Like I need to pay attention and make some radical changes in my life, because the life that I'm living is just not a good life for me or my son. So I started doing the work, going to self-development trainings, personal development, listening to Lisa Nichols, Les Brown every morning. Like that's all I listened to. Positive thinking, all these things. Mind you, throughout my life, I didn't have any of this. So I didn't even know what it was. I couldn't go to my sister and say, how can I become more positive? Like I'm struggling. I have no money. I have no childcare now. I have no father for my son. Like, how can I be happy? I was really just depressed, struggling, going through so many just changes in my life. So I started looking within, like, what does Miriam need? What can I do for me? Like, no one around me knows. And I've always felt different. Like, I don't fit in. I don't belong in my family. So all the time that I had alone, because I was scared to date any men. I was scared to be in a relationship because of the trauma that I had faced. I devoted that time to me and really like empowering me and what I wanted to do. So I started going to conferences. I started talking to coaches. And then I became involved with this very special man that I feel I manifested into my life, because I'm like, okay, this is the type of man that I want now. I made all these radical changes. And I'm looking for the specific type of man, and I will not take anything less than that, because I had already said, like, these are my values. And we started dating. We had a baby, and I was so happy. But when I had my son in last September, I went through a very difficult time with postpartum depression. I've talked to you about it. And I wanted, mind you, I had done all this work on myself and I thought I was the happiest lady. I'm having a baby. Everything's great. But when I had my son and I went through the postpartum depression and the sadness that I felt and like the void, the emptiness, and it was definitely postpartum depression, but I started really analyzing my life. Like, what am I doing? I'm working every day. I'm coming home, making dinner, sleeping. What am I really doing? And after going through therapy and, you know, meeting with the psychiatrist and having all these thoughts, like suicidal thoughts and different things, I said, I'm going to do the work. Like, I'm going to do the work on me. Like,
right.
for real, for real.
They told you that they wanted to medicate you, right? They wanted
Exactly.
to get you medication, and
yeah.
you wouldn't take it.
I wouldn't take it. But I realized something, Chandra, like I had been depressed my whole life because of my childhood trauma.
Yeah.
So this kind of just pushed me over the edge. I didn't realize it.
Right. Right.
But when the doctor said that day, like, you need to be on meds, I realized like I had been depressed my whole life. I just had been covering it up with just maybe relationships, shopping, or drugs and alcohol when I was younger. So many things. So I left the doctors that day when she said you need to be on medication, and I was like sobbing on the way home, and I'm like, should I take it? Mind you, I had experience with drugs when I was younger, so I was scared to be addicted. I used meth when I was a teenager, and I was addicted. No one in my family knew. Like, this is how separated and how alone I was. Like, no one knew that I was going through these things. My mom, now that I talk to her about it, she's like, when and how and where?
Right.
I said, it was all happening right there, but no one was talking with me.
Right.
And I've been on this journey by myself. Like, my life is completely separated and different than my family's.
Yeah.
So then I started doing more work. Like, I would wake up every morning after I had my son with this postpartum depression. I would go to the gym. Even if I didn't want to, I would force myself, like crying as I was driving to the gym. I'm like, I hate this. But I realized, like,
wait. But that is dedication.
Yeah.
And this is why I love you. And I think I really admire your story, and I really want you to share it, because that's not easy, right? A lot of people would just stay in the bed and cry.
Yeah.
You got up, put your gym clothes on, even though it hurt, right? You still did it.
Exactly.
Right? Because, I mean, success and wanting what we want is not easy, and it's going to be painful.
Oh, it was painful,
right?
Sometimes I didn't even have to put on my gym clothes because I still had them on from last night. Like, I didn't even want to shower. I was so depressed.
Just rolled out of bed and
I just rolled out of bed.
Because you knew, though, when you worked out, you felt better after the workout.
Exactly.
Results.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I knew I felt better. I knew that pushing myself. So I created, without even knowing what it was, I created a morning ritual. Every morning, even if I said, no, I'm not going to do it, I'm so sad today, like, I would be like, no, get your ass up. Like, I'm not playing games. And I would literally talk to myself. And that's what I teach my clients. This extra mind chatter that's telling you, no, you're not good enough. Right. No, you can't do it. Like, you need to literally say, shut up. I'm moving on. Like, I need to do this for me.
Do you literally do that?
I do that.
In your mind, you say, shut up?
Yes.
Like, say it out loud?
I do that when I'm by myself. I do it out loud.
I love it. I love it. People might think, you know what? I love it.
I don't do it. I don't even do it as much anymore. But I know when I was going through my changes, my radical changes, I had to do it.
Yeah.
Especially when I was crying on the treadmill, and I'm like, no, I'm good enough. I'm good. Like, I'm great. And I know some people are like, what the heck is going on over there? I'm having this on the treadmill.
Yeah.
But you know what? Sometimes we need to hear it out loud.
Yes.
And I didn't have anyone who was telling me that. You know, a lot of us don't have someone who's telling you, you're amazing, you're a great mother, you could do it.
Yeah.
So we have to be our own inspiration.
Yes. Yes.
But it takes a while to get there.
It does take a while, but you did the work, right? You did the work. What other things would you do to feel good? So you worked out, right? You were listening to Les Brown, Lisa Nichols. What other things would you do to get through the day?
Through the day, yeah. I had a gratitude journal, and actually that's part of my program, where you sit down and you focus on things that you're grateful for, because there's so much in life that we're missing out on. We're always looking at what happened in the past or what's going to happen in the future, and we forget about the present.
Yes. That's what I tell, that's what I tell you guys, like, especially the ones that are working. I'm like, you got to appreciate your job right now. Cause sometimes you're like, I hate this place. I don't want to be here anymore. I don't know how many phone calls I get from my clients. And I say, you have to feel gratitude and appreciate that job right now, and see it as the GoFundMe for your
Yes.
dream. Use
Yes.
it as a GoFundMe and appreciate it, because I was in a zone like that too. Like I just felt resentment and bitter towards my job. But then I realized if you didn't have this job, Chandra, you wouldn't be able to pay for the coaching and the support you need and the resources you need to learn how to exit out of this job.
Exactly.
So let's appreciate this job and love it.
Exactly.
Right. Right.
And as Lisa Nichols says, it's your investor.
Exactly.
Like, be grateful for your investor that's
Yes.
providing everything that you need right now.
Yes, exactly. Be grateful for it.
But I think that that's what it takes. Like initially when I was going through the depression and going through all this trauma, I needed to start working on something. Like you have to start somewhere.
Yeah.
And life doesn't just like get all better for you. You have to put in the work. That's what I talk to my clients about. You want this car, you want this career, you want this business. It will happen. And it's, you know, sometimes I sit down, we manifest together or do things, but you have to put in the work. It doesn't just appear now, you know, without doing anything.
It doesn't land in your lap.
Exactly.
And a lot of people want quick results, right? But it's a process.
Yeah.
It's definitely a process, because think about your whole process from you, you know, everything that you went through in your life, and then you finding a good relationship, right? And you thought things were good, but then you fell into depression, and you were, you know, but you were still probably during that time listening and had aspirations for more, right? So you had goals and everything, but then you started feeling depressed again and you had to do the work. It's a process. It's been a process since then. Like how many, you know, it's been a year or two, like, you know, not for your whole life. You've had trauma and a lot of things going on, but the journey of wanting to work for yourself, wanting to have more than ever before, right? And realizing your dream and realizing what you have to offer. Like you said earlier, I've been different than everybody else, right? I've always stood out. And usually the women that come to me or the women I work with, that's them. They stand out of the crowd. They're not like everybody else. They see bigger things for them and for their life.
Exactly.
Right? And you just see things in a different perspective. Your friends are different. Your family's different. Everybody's different. And they don't see the things the way you do. Right? And that's why you have something special. We're just refining it, and it takes time. It takes time to get there.
Definitely. And that's actually something that I noticed with my clients, where it's actually like a pattern where they've been doing the work. They just don't put they don't put it together.
Yeah.
You know, especially with like me, like I mentioned, all this trauma and all the things, I saw that there's a pattern where I've been alone, but I've been able to overcome all these challenges, even as a little girl. And I've been able to take it on. So I realize now as an adult, I'm like, wait a minute, I'm super powerful.
Yeah.
Like, and so in the mornings, I don't even listen to Les Brown. I'm like, you are powerful. Like I give myself this speech. And I'm like, I've been doing the work. I just didn't recognize it. And that's my goal, to teach women and show them that they've been doing the work. We've all been doing it.
Yeah. And that's why I tell you, like, you have everything for these women in your program, because you're just teaching them what you did in order for you to start going after your goals. Because a lot of people they can't get over that part, that hump of depression, that hump of not feeling worthy, not that hump of not feeling good about themselves, and all this mindset stuff chatter that's going on. They can't even get over that part. But in your program, you teach them how to get over that. Right? You teach them the tools on how to tell that voice to shut the hell up, right? How to force yourself to do things when you don't feel like doing them, right? The mindset work that it takes and why we're thinking the way we're thinking, how to take swift action. What other things do you teach them in your program?
So I teach them about setting goals, setting boundaries, like especially my program is designed specifically for women.
Yeah.
For women that are mothers. I'm sure, as you know, for me, being a mother and going after my goals or dreams or changes, I felt guilty. Like I'm not spending enough time with my kids. Maybe I should be doing this for them. I should spend on them. And I never wanted to spend on me, especially with coaching. Before I'm like, no, I could take my son to violin practice. Now it's like, no, if I'm good, if I'm taken care of, if I have a coach guiding me to be better, to show me, I'm adding value to their life and they're watching me. I'm their example. So how can I tell my son, be the best thing you could be, if I'm not doing it? And you know what's crazy? Like, coaching can be pricey sometimes, but the money just falls into place. It's literally just coming in different directions. And I'm like, oh my gosh, now I can afford this other thing.
It
works out.
It all works out for some reason, right? Especially when you're able to release money, when you're able to release money and not hold tight to it, you're not going to get any more back. You're not going to get any more back when you hold tight. But if you're able to release, and it always comes back. I'm so glad you said that, because that's happened for me every time I lay a large sum of money for an investment in a coach or a program that I'm trying to do. I just drop it. I'm just like, I'm not even going to worry about it now, because I already know it's coming back to me. And, you know, I just feel it. I just feel it, and I know it's going to come back. And I know if I do the work. You got to do the work, though. You got to do the work. A lot of people want to drop money and they don't do the work. They want to drop money on a course. They want to drop money on a program, but they don't do the work. You got to do the work.
Exactly.
So, but we're not talking about that today. We're talking about you.
But you know what? You know what's so great, and that's actually something I teach in my program: living in gratitude. So if I spend money on a coach, for example, just because we're talking about that, I say, thank you so much, my coach Chandra Brooks. I give you this payment. Because I appreciate you. I appreciate everything I'm learning.
Yeah.
And I know sometimes you get messages from me and it's like, I love you. And that's just because I force myself to, and now it's natural, but I used to do it where I force myself to live in gratitude and tell people around me how much I appreciate them. And I don't see it as I'm paying you for a service. I see it as giving you a gift because of the gift that you give to me. And it's a whole different mindset that I have now, where honestly, if I live in gratitude and I'm very grateful and I treat everyone with love, it comes right back to me. And I wasn't like that before, because I was so bitter about what was happening in my life that was going wrong. It's just such a mind shift.
Miriam. That's so important though, because not even us, like even me, do that. But I think it's very important that we do, because we are easily to judge. We're easily to not be grateful, right? And always expect something from something, and just be like, well, I should have got this and I should have did this, instead of just being more grateful. More grateful and showing gratitude. And I think that that's so true. And we could all do better than that, better at that. And I'm so glad that that's in your program too, teaching about gratitude. And I remember, you know, us dissecting your program, right? Thinking, and this is for everybody that's thinking about creating something or developing something. What we can teach, we should be teaching what we've done, right? We should be teaching what we've done and what we've gone through.
Yeah.
Although we take it for granted when we see it as something little, right? And we see it as something that's easy to us that we just did it, right? We just did it. It didn't seem like a big deal. That's how I created Powerhouse Academy. You know, how did Chandra get all these awards and speaking engagements, TEDx talk, opportunity? How did she get all this stuff? Okay. I just did it. Yeah. I didn't realize it until I dissected it with my coach and was like, Chandra, you don't stop trying to create something else. Create what you've done.
Yes.
Because that's what people want to know. That's what people need to know. And it's going to come easy to you because you've done it. Exactly. Right. So everything that you teach in your program, you've done. Right. You've done. And that's why women should do it that are having a hard time getting over that hump to accomplish their goals.
Yeah.
Right. Because in the end, after they go through your Limitless program, and it's exactly what it is, a Limitless, you get you to a point where you have no more limits in your life. Everything that's been holding you down from you going after your goals and accomplishing them and having a plan to go after them. Because that's what they get out of your program, right? After they come out of Limitless, they're like, I got a plan now.
Yes.
Tell me about that.
And it's so that's why I called it Limitless, because really there's no limits unless you place them on yourself.
Right.
And I'm not talking about limits where you're like, you know, you can't leave a place or anything. I'm talking about this, which is some of the hardest work we do and we work on, the mindset, because this will keep you from going after anything, whether it's a relationship, whether it's a new job, or even just going out, you know, going to work out. A lot of the women that I work with want to be healthy, want to look good, you know, and for me, that's something that I share, not the nutrition part or anything, just how you could do it. If you decide you wanted to do it, you do the research, you put in the work, and you just do it. Yes. But it starts with the mindset. And that's basically what we do. We go over the mindset part. We go over how to manifest the life that you want. We create plans for your goals. Like, how do you start? How do we break it down? Mm-hmm. And how do you start working towards it? And it might be a goal that's a long-term goal. Mm-hmm. For me, like speaking on stages all over the world. Mm-hmm. How do I start though? Like, you need to put in the work and start taking action. Mm-hmm. And I hold these women accountable. Mm-hmm. Because you tell me that you want it. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to reach out and be like, what's the progress? Like, I need to hear. Sometimes we need someone. Yeah. And you've done it to me where it's like, hey, what's going on with this? Mm-hmm. And that's what I'm here for. Exactly.
It's accountability. Mm-hmm. And usually, and this is what I was talking to a client or a woman that wanted me to coach her one-on-one. And I said, all this stuff that I'm talking to you about is all Googleable. This is all Googleable. Anything you do with Chandra Brooks, right, is Googleable. Yeah. You can Google it if you want to. Yeah. But honestly, you're paying for my accountability and my strategy. Yes. Right, on how to do it. You could have went and started to maybe hire somebody to teach you how to be the best speaker in the world, right? Because I know that's your goal. Mm-hmm. But I told you the process of getting visible, the process of being on podcasts, being featured on these magazines, that gives you credibility and authority for people to want to put you on their big stage.
Exactly.
That's why that's important. And yes. people just want to jump to that stage, right? Yeah. They want to go, oh, I got to skip all that. I'm going to skip all that part. Be like, look, it's a process. If you want to be on these big stages, people pay people a lot of money to be on stages because they have the credibility behind them and they've been featured and done all these other things. Yeah. Right. So, doing the work, right? Doing the work. So they pay for accountability. Yes. Right. And the strategy and how you did it. Anybody could Google how to fix their mindset. Right. Exactly. And they'll listen to a video. Okay, that's it. Okay, my mindset should be fixed. No, it doesn't work that way.
No, not at all.
It doesn't work that way. It's accountability. It's like, what did you do today to make yourself better? Like, did you get up and go to the gym? Like setting up a schedule, right? Setting up their goals and holding them accountable and giving them ideas and working it out with them. That's what you really pay for, the strategy and accountability when you have a coach.
And it's really talking it through. I was talking to one of my clients, I think Thursday, just for it was supposed to be a short call. We talked for 40 minutes and she was sobbing on the phone because she's like, wait a minute. I just realized this thing. Like, I've actually been doing the work. And if you do research on, like you said, Google it, it's like, okay, now you take step 1, step 2, step 3. Mm-hmm. But you need someone to really sometimes hold your hand and go through the process with you. And sure. I've been there, I've done it. So I know what you need to do. Mm-hmm. Like, I know, because I'm here already. Like, exactly. I can guide you through it.
And that's why that's so important for the women. Like, tell me, what women are you looking for your program?
So I'm looking for mothers, specifically, struggling mothers that are single, divorced, that feel limited, that feel like they're stuck, that feel like they're overwhelmed, that are not financially where they want to be. Professional women that are working, but really need a little bit of help because they want to move up. Like, they want a career.
Where are they at
business.
in their head? Where are they at in their head right now?
So they're stuck. Mm-hmm. They're still trying to find themselves. Like, they know they have it. They just need someone to help them. Mm-hmm. And create strategy, create plans. Like, they have a goal in mind. They just don't know how to get there.
Got it.
Or they want to achieve some goals, but they keep on talking themselves out of it. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's who I want to help, because I know that there's so many women out there that just need a little bit of guidance. I see you have your client there, so I won't take too much of your time, but that's who I want to help. I'm super committed to the women that are in my program. I know we, some of them just graduated, and we still have this group that we have. I love the women that we work with. Hey, Lori. I love Lori. Yes. So, I wanted to come on, share my story today and share how we're all similar. I've talked to some women and they say, well, well, you were skinny already, so that's why I can't lose weight, or you've had the mindset all the time. But I've always, faced struggles just like everyone else. I just learned how to look at them as opportunities, and I learned from them. And that's what I want to teach women, how to truly be limitless.
So I want to, I opened up the chat.
Yes.
Yeah, that's Lori Elizabeth. She said, hi, Lori. Elizabeth said, hi. She said, I agree. Elizabeth said, oh no, she said, Limitless has helped me to formulate more consistent goals for me finally. So Liz was in your program in the last Limitless cohort,
yes,
right?
And we have Selena now. Selena's also in the last one, and she's done, these women are so powerful.
Yeah. What has Selena done? Tell me about Selena. What did you do, Selena? What have you accomplished? I want to know.
She's on here. I don't know if she'll share some of her success stories, but she's been doing the work. She's learned so much about herself that she didn't know. Like I told you, I was talking to her, and she's been doing the work. Yeah. She has struggles in her life. She's overcame those struggles, and now she's finding herself. Like she's finding her worth, she's finding her value. She knows what she wants. She's setting boundaries. She's doing so much work on her mindset. Good. Which is, we can own
That's
cars.
The foundation.
It's a foundation. We can own, we can have this amazing, successful business. But if this isn't right, we never make progress. And actually, real quick, I was talking.
You're not going to get there if your mind isn't right. Yeah.
I was talking about this author. I don't know if you saw her book. The title is Limitless. So I posted something about that, and the author gave me some of her time, which I was completely honored this past week. And she was telling me she's talked to so many successful people in this world, and she found one thing in common, that they all didn't see themselves as successful. It had to do with the mindset. Although they had the money, they had the business, they have all this, they still felt a void and didn't feel satisfied. And that's how she came up with that book, because she, people need to be limitless. We place these limits on ourselves. Yes. And it's only us creating these limits. So I think for all the women that are with me, some of them are joining us today, I want them to know that they're truly limitless. Yeah. And they could really go after their dreams and goals. It might take some time, right? Because it's a process. But you need to take action, start making changes, and start making movements. Yeah. Just start moving. Otherwise, you'll stay there.
And their first steps were being in your program, I think, because you have to be able to put your ego to the side and say, I need help, right? And a lot of people don't do that. A lot of people will let their ego eat them up, and they think, I can figure it out. I can YouTube this. I can read a book. I can get a course, or, watch a video, and I'm going to be all fixed, and I'm going to be able to tackle my goals and conquer the world. And it takes time to get there. You got to learn the strategies and learn from somebody who's done it.
Exactly.
Right? Somebody who's done it. Get into the speedboat instead of taking the paddle boat to your dreams and goals, right?
Yes,
so,
definitely.
Get there faster, and you get there faster with somebody who's done it. So anybody who is curious and wants to live a limitless life should be contacting you, because when is your next group start?
So we're going to start, I actually changed the date. I'm looking at 7/21, July 21st. Okay. I'm making a few changes to the program. Definitely looking for women that are ready to take action.
Yes.
And ready to really be themselves and be truly limitless. So I'm super excited. I've had a few conversations this past week with some women. I'm motivated. I'm ready to take action. And we're actually going to be having other little things happening, freebies.
Okay.
In regards to one of the things that I want to mention right now with everything, I'm literally able to go on a health cleanse for the next 3 days with juicing and having shakes, just with this. I could literally say today, I'm not going to eat for the next 2 days.
Yeah.
And some women are like, how do I even start a diet? And my goal is you don't have to starve yourself. You don't have to do all these radical things to get quick results. It has to do with the mindset. You have to take control over your thoughts and be able to take action. So we'll be having different things, but my program does start July 21st. I'm looking for women that are ready to take some action, that are ready to make changes.
Yeah.
And I'm super excited about it.
Well, people will be silly if they don't sign up with you and they don't work with you, because I already seen the results from some of your clients and seen just with you, right? Just with you, you're so disciplined in the things that you do and how you do it. And I'm just so proud of what you've developed and what you created. And I can't wait for this next cohort to start. So if you are slightly interested and slightly just curious, people need to ask and go in the inbox and ask, and not just sit back and just watch and creep and lurk on Facebook. Like, come in my inbox and ask me a question, right? You just never know where it can go, right? You never know where it's going to take you. So hit up Miriam, because she ain't gonna wait for you, and she's gonna get up full, and then you ain't gonna, next time you try to sign up for Limitless, it's gonna be double the price, because I'm her coach and I'm gonna tell her to double it next time.
Yes. And actually the price has increased, and I was talking to someone and she's like, what? And I said, that's what happens. Like, you know, with more, as I go and develop the program and start making changes, add more things, it does go up. Yeah. So you need to hurry up and,
yeah, it's not, this is not hourly time. This is like, I'm giving you everything inside of me, right? I'm giving you everything inside of me, and that's what you do. You're giving everything inside of you, and all of the strategies you're learning, and they're getting a shortcut. So they're paying for the shortcut strategy and accountability.
Yes.
Okay.
And before we end, I wanted to let you know, like, I really appreciate the people that are joining us today, especially my clients. They're beautiful. They're amazing. So I'm so grateful to you for joining me today.
Yes.
I appreciate you.
I was just going back on to see if there was any more comments that we should mention, but thank you, Elizabeth, for being faithful and staying on with us.
I love Elizabeth. Look, Selena.
And Selena too. Thank you guys. But yeah, no, whatever you need, anytime, I'm here. Everybody get with Miriam and jump in her program. I'm gonna go. I got a meeting with your cohort buddy, Lori, and we're gonna talk about her program now.
Yes. Thank you so much, Chandra. Have a good weekend.
Okay.
Thank
See you later. Bye.
Bye.